right? We're already in 2023, and by this time today, over 80% of people have quit on their goals. And so many people love doing New Year's resolution. Maybe your New Year's resolution starts at a different time. And so today's podcast, I really wanted to talk about the importance of being true to your word to yourself, the importance of being able to commit to yourself, being loyal to yourself, and why it's so important in regards to being mindful and in the mind part of business, how that can really help you grow. And it can also be one of our biggest downfalls. Is this is from lessons from myself that I've learned throughout the years being in business, and also being a business office manager, business consultant, working with different brands. It's just the importance of keeping your word and being really intentional with what we say yes and no to is what today's episode is about. So let's go to it. Our mind is so powerful. I know we just did an episode. If you haven't listened to the one for this week, it was amazing. It was with Jassy. She happened to be, and I know a lot of you are probably wondering, Celeste, why would you have a younger person with a business on the podcast? So she happens to be not even 13 years old. She started her business out of her kitchen. And really quickly, her mom said, like, I'm not really sure. And she kept being persistent about it. And by the time she was 10, they bought her some stuff and she started doing it. She went to farmers markets. Now she's in 4 different store locations. She's been published. She's been on podcasts other than my own. And she's just doing beautiful things, right? And she goes to school on top of that. And she runs a business. And and she's very successful at it. And that's why I wanted to share her, because I think it's the perfect intro to this episode about the power of our mind and being intentional and being really true to our own word, and why that's so important, and why that's one of the main keys of success that I see that's missing, and it's lacking just from seeing with different students and coaching and just different opportunities that I've gotten throughout the years, and how that can make a huge difference. Our mind can tell us whether something is like stories, right? Our mind can say, hey, you're not capable of this. Hey, you're not good enough of this. And if we allow our mind and those like negative thoughts to overtake our life, it can take a big negative effect in what we're capable of doing. I have been able to do this. And, if you're watching this, you can watch the video part on Spotify or on YouTube for this week's episode. I've been doing this in regards to video since 2016, and I did not publish a single video at all, because I was really hard on myself, and I didn't think it was like worthy of being published. And so I remember when I kept seeing all the videos and following all the influencers, and that was previous to that. It was in 2013 when I was still doing like office work. It had nothing to do with the beauty industry. We stop ourselves because we see everybody ahead of us. They're doing the beautiful lights. They have the ring light. They have a setting. I used to have a recording studio inside of the house where I used to live at. All this stuff, right? Or like right now, my husband happened to come home. He's making noise in the kitchen. He's going upstairs. So I could literally be like, okay, I need to quit this podcast episode and this video because there's that background noise. So these are real life situations that are gonna happen in business and in life. And it's really important if you wanna move forward, especially now in 2023, let's keep it real 100, okay? There is Chat GPT, which pretty much helps you write content. Is you still need to edit it and put in your own voice into it if you want to utilize it. There's so much artificial intelligence, AI, that can create amazing images and things for you, but there's only one person like you. There's only one person that has all of the life experiences, that has really gone through the trenches to get you to where you are today in your business. And people need to hear it from you. You and I can be talking about that red pillow right there. I have a red pillow for Valentine's Day in my house. So we could be talking about the same red pillow, and the way you and I describe it is going to be totally different. And the way people connect through the story is going to be totally different as well. So I really wanted to do this because I think it's so important that you start honing your expertise and put yourself out there. It can be scary to show up on video, for example. I will be very vulnerable. So I am a Pinterest TV host, and I work with a producer, and I also work with I have an audio and visual support now live on my first video this month. I'm so excited. It's going to the next level, right? I wouldn't be there today if when they reached out to me, I would have said no. I wouldn't be there today. I wasn't doing a lot of updos and stuff, like I was really just styling a lot of hair because I do a lot of hair color. And when they asked me, they wanted certain things from me. It wasn't my best work. It's not like the stuff that you see on Pinterest, but the more I practiced and the more that I said yes, and I took time out away from just going on live, I literally grabbed and bought two dolls, a long hair one, a short hair one, and I was practicing and practicing until I got down what I loved, which was Hollywood waves and waving hair and half up, half down, updo, like do's. Like that's what I love to do. I am not passionate about updos, and because of that, in my team, I have other team members that love doing updos, that are very strong at it and are passionate about it. And that is the portion that for a part of our mind is that we do not have to be great at everything. You may have opportunities come into your life that require different things, or maybe require you to put a little more effort and learn like I had to in order to grow. But if we're always allowing our mind to tell us that we're not capable of it, if we're always allowing our mind to those negative thoughts to come in and overtake our life, it can be really a big downfall for us. So another example of something that happened this week, I'm gonna be going to a bridesmaid store actually. So their focus is bridesmaids dresses. It's pretty cool. You can try them on online. I've never seen it. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna have my pop up, and I'm gonna have also my photo booth there. Not the mobile, but like a flower wall for people to take digital pictures with a digital photo booth. This whole experience, right? I'm gonna be doing that this weekend, and I decided that I wanted to create some really cool stickers. I've never have made stickers in my life. Okay, this story has a point because I want you to take these lessons from me. I created my stickers, they were awesome, and then I had two choices. I could either go, spend the money, go to, to a craft store, get the vinyl. I already have a cry cut, machine, and make it my own and spend the time and trying to figure all this stuff out and make the errors and learning curve. That would have taken hours away from my business. So what did I do? Instead, what I did is I designed my own stickers, but I hired out, which I'm going to be sharing today on my Instagram stories, the stickers that I created. I hired out somebody to just print them out, cut them out for me, and have them ready to go so I have them for my event. Because I want to lay them out at my table. Like I have this design idea about how I want my table to lay out. And it's a fun interactive way to bring curiosity so people can come over to my table and check out my booth. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. It's like so important also the mind part that number two, we do not need to do it all alone. We get to hire out for help. My area of expertise, sure, I could have learned how to do the cry cut and spend all those hours. My area of expertise is actually talking to my clients, responding to my bookings. I also have my bridal styling, hairstyling, and makeup business, and that requires a lot of emailing. So instead of me wasting hours, which I know, yes, I could have gotten the same stickers, instead of wasting those hours on that, I decided to hire out. It saved me so much time. It saved me so much money in the long run. Because of that, I was able to respond to inquiries, and I actually was able to book 3 of those this week. And that is the part where we have to start getting in the mindful part of we do not need to do it all by ourselves, and hire out for your weaknesses is point number 3. When you want to do something amazing, I know you can figure it out. I can figure out how to do many things, but it's not my area of expertise. If I'm not strong at it, I hire out for my weaknesses. I have learned that it's best. The biggest mistake and money wasting things I've done in my business has been hiring others in areas where I'm already proficient or strong at. That is like the worst waste of money that you can do. So instead, hire out where you're weak at. Another thing I'm hiring out for is my podcast jingle. So I'm going to do a podcast jingle. Sure, I could create it, do it by myself. Why am I going to do that and waste all those hours trying to figure that out? I'm hiring out somebody to find a nice jingle that I want for my podcast. So this is just different ideas, how important it is for you to be really loyal to your word. When you need to get things done, it's okay to hire out. This week there was a different couple of things. I'll be sharing them. Maybe in next week's episode, I'll come here and do like a quick 2-minute video just to show you all the things. I hired a lot of those things out. I have ideas in my head. You probably have amazing ideas for your business. It's okay to own your area of expertise and hire out for the rest. The other part in regards to like the importance of really being true to your word. In life and in business, not everybody's gonna see your vision. I posted a TikTok. If you already know about my mobile salon, and don't worry, next week is gonna be a special episode. What I have learned. I've had my mobile salon since 2020 has been my journey. I'm gonna be teaching you different like lessons that I've learned, good and bad. The top 5 bad and the top 5 good ones I've learned from being a licensed mobile salon owner in California. So that's coming up next week, and then the following week I'm gonna be talking to you guys about having a at-home salon, which I had at one point as well, because nobody talks about the lessons and all the good and the bad from it. So I wanted to do that for you. My mobile salon, it was just a beautiful experience for me to learn that sometimes you can have an amazing idea, but if you don't act up on it, it doesn't matter. It's not gonna get done and somebody else will do it. How many times have you had an amazing idea to create a video, to create a course, to offer a service, and you didn't do it because you didn't know if it would work out, you didn't know if it would be profitable, or how it would help others. So you just decide not to, and somebody else jumps in and does that idea, and boom, it skyrockets, right? It happens many times. And that's something that really happened with the mobile salon. I went through a lot of things, right? I had health issues with my hand. I also had I had to go to like rehab almost a whole year to learn how to reopen this hand to do this, which is insane. After I got sick with, the crud, it was just a side effect I had. I had to open, close, and open again. I remodeled it the first time. I felt like I spent way too much money. The second time, it was efficient. It was done. I learned so many lessons how to do it for less, and I love it. I did a complete remodel of it, regutted it, and did all of it. This has been the journey to where I am today. And sometimes it's so easy for us to say like, yeah, that's easy for them, because we just see the end product. Everybody can see today my mobile salon, be like, yeah, it's so easy for her. I can totally do that. But nobody knows really the journey and the trajectory of what it takes to get you to that point. And that's why it's so important that you believe in yourself and you are your word. I put in my calendar that the second remodel had to be done under 30 days. My little chinchilla died. I was really upset. So that did a delay in my process, and it ended up being under 40 days. More of the story is that I was really stuck to my word because I wanted to get this done and I needed to get my clients service. So I had to get this ball and rolling, getting the application, like the whole process. It was just the whole thing. And I know to this day, the reason why I'm here is because I was really stubborn and persistent with my word. When you believe in yourself, it's not that you're being egotistical. I think there's such a different thing, but when you're being like, oh, I'm the best shit that there's out in the world, versus like, no, I believe in my capabilities and I may not have it all figured out. I didn't have it all figured out, but I'm going to do this because I believe in myself and I believe what this can do for others, or what it can do for you. So just be very intentional with what are you telling yourself? What are those little thoughts coming in throughout the day? Because they can be so powerful, just like they can build you up to do amazing things. They can also tear you down. I shared this last year and I want to share it because we're getting to the year mark. After going through so many ordeals, last year it was a really hard point for me personally where I almost shut down all my businesses. And it had nothing to do with burnout. It had nothing to do with my clients driving me crazy, not at all. My clients, they know my boundaries. I have my guidelines. I am very respectful and mindful of their, what their beauty budget is, but also what my expertise and my time and product costs to do services. I don't lowball myself either. So it had nothing to do with my business. It had to do with my personal self. And I wanted to share this because it's so important. I had to get help, right? So I've been talking to my therapist. We're going almost at the year mark where we've been working together, and it has been so beautiful to help me grow. And as I grow and I evolve, this whole transition of almost shutting down my businesses because of personal reasons, it had nothing to do with my business at all, really helped me to understand the power of our mind and how powerful it is when we're intentional to ourselves. When you promise yourself that you're gonna go on a walk, when you promise yourself that although you may not be strong on writing emails and you did like a whole bunch of typos this week, this is Celeste, because I did that this week. I had so many typos in that email, but the point got across of what I meant to say. Now next week, I'm gonna get better at it and I'm gonna use Grammarly to spell check. When you're intentional with your word, you stop making excuses and you start taking action. And I'm not talking about perfect action. I'm not talking about having it all figured out. If I waited to have it all figured out, I wouldn't be here today. And one of the biggest things I struggled in my business, which is my strongest suit now, is color. I struggled with it so hard. It didn't make sense. And I spent so much money and time and on the bus and on the plane and, places and, trading my time for knowledge, so many things to be able to gain that knowledge because I was so passionate about it. It didn't come natural to me. And one day it just clicked. And then it really did. And then one day I stopped putting myself down to the point where I didn't want to do it, right? Because I knew I had the knowledge to fix mistakes, and I knew I had the knowledge to be able to fix it and correct it and make beautiful things out of things that look messy. And that's why I got into color correction work. It was to really push myself out of my comfort zone. And it's so important that we push ourselves out of the comfort zone. It's so easy. Sometimes, like today, you're hearing me on the podcast, you're maybe watching the video, that this comes so naturally. Literally, the background, my house is a mess. I need to go, we need to go do an errand for my daughter. So I'm going to be leaving soon. But it's more about being consistent and doing the work and being true to yourself. I said I was going to record an episode today. I'm recording the episode. I'm uploading it. I'm being true to my word and true to you, my audience. So don't undermine the power that you have over your own thoughts. That does not mean I do not have bad days. That does not mean that we do not have self-doubt. That doesn't mean sometimes we're like, darn, I messed that up and I don't like how it looks like. It doesn't mean that. It just means that rather than having one bad day or things that go wrong stop us, we utilize that to learn lessons and grow from it. And remember to take rest. I take a lot of rest. It's very important to me. It may not make sense to anybody else, but it makes sense to me. That's how I'm able to produce content and also learn to repurpose your content, recycle it, change it up, and share the content, share your knowledge the best way that you like to. If you're awesome at writing it, write it. If you're awesome at talking, do a podcast. If you're awesome at doing video, share that video everywhere. But don't limit yourself because you never know the doors and opportunities that can open for yourself when you decide to not listen to those little mean voices inside of our head or thoughts that come in, and just put yourself out there the best way possible that you can. Without limiting yourself because it's not perfect, because it's not pretty. I'm recording this literally from my living room. We're getting ready to move next month, so I'll be in boxes soon. And it's about showing up consistently and being true to my word, being true to you. So I really hope this episode really helps you to stop the overthinking and start doing, because action is going to help you grow. Action is going to give you clarity of what more you want to do and what other things you no longer feel passionate or want to do. And most importantly, be true to who you are. Be true to who your voice, your brand, who you are as a person. I'm pretty laid back, or I'm really dressed up. Most of the time I show up here pretty laid back. Just part of who I am. I'm not trying to be anybody else but myself. And I just want to share this story and this insight today to also let you know that's possible for you and it's not too late. Just be really true to your word, because this can get you so far ahead in life. And also, the power of your mind and those thoughts, how they can also put you down. So with that, I hope this episode was helpful. I will see you back next week. So much love. See you next time. Bye, love.